Let me tell y'all something. The Africans in the diaspora got the skills to build a new world. And the Africans in America, you know, is the dumbest culturally. Even though the Africans in America got the skill and the economics to build a new world. The, yeah, hold on, let's deal with that. The Africans in the diaspora got the skills to build a new world, but particularly the Africans in America got the skill and the economics to build a new world. You see what I'm saying? But in the but we the dumbest culturally, the Africans in America, and historically we the. I'm saying like you know, even like the Africans in the islands in South America, they still got African culture. Even though they might speak Spanish, they might speak French, they might speak English. You see what I'm saying? But they still got like patois, which is an African slang. You can hear the Africanness in that. You know, uh, even though a lot of people are like just say Jamaica. I always pick Jamaica and the African Americans out particularly because those are the two strongest groups. You see what they the most popular black groups in the world. The African Americans and the Jamaicans. They the most popular. And then headed up, by Nigeria and Zimbabwe. But the two most popular black people on the planet is the Africans in America and Jamaicans. But even though, see, the Africans in the Americas, all Africa is just like a distant memory, a way distant memory. It's almost void. It's almost like it's not there, but it's there. It's almost like a stain on the carpet that you can barely see, but it's there. So that's what Africa is, particularly for the African Americans. But the Africans in the islands, in particularly South America, the drum beat of Africa is heavy in the heart, man. Capoeira, the little dance, which was the fighting style of the karate, which come up out of Egypt and come up out the Nile Valley. You see with the drums that they use in South America, Brazil, Guyana, you see places like that. It's certain areas where they're in the diaspora, where the Africa is just Haiti is just totally prevalent. They still Africans. They just speak a different language. They've been taught the colonizers' language. You see what I'm saying? And even Jamaica, which is almost just like America as far as um, political, social, historical teachers, because we've been conquered by the same people. We was both conquered by the English. You see what I'm saying? So we've been taught, you know, Bahamas, even places like same thing. We've been taught that, we never had no historical accomplishments. And our history started with slavery. You see what I'm saying? And that's in the mind of the social diaspora. Slavery is looked down upon, which we shouldn't do that. We should look at that as, our people survived that Holocaust. Nobody has survived nothing like that ever. Any other people that ain't nobody else. This is Haile Selassie once said, how do we, as a people, black people, answer a question that has never been asked to another people? Like, how do we get out this slave thinking, this slave, and what happened to us? How do we get out of that when there's no books written on, how to get out of what has happened to black people? Because this is the first time that it has ever happened to somebody in this capacity. So there's no real, and I know this, I'm saying, physical research. Haile Selassie say we must become a new people. The emperor say we must become a new people. And at first I was like, hold on. I really didn't understand it. But as time go on and I keep repeating what he said in my head about how do we suppose this question on ourselves when, you know, there's nothing we can research. What he's saying about becoming new people, what I took out of that is that we must look inside for the answer, because there is no answer. The answer is us. It's gonna be us. Matter of fact, he said it. It's gonna be us that get us out of this. And for what they done, Haile Selassie say, it's gonna be us today, y'all tomorrow. I mean, and it's just, but so the Africanness in the Caribbean, in the islands, in certain areas, like they still got a little, because that's how the Rasta movement was. It come from slavery. Them rebelling against, you know, them, you know, a culture being pushed on us. You see, that's them rebelling and saying, no, hell no, God is not white. Yeah, no. We not English. We British subjects. We prisoners of war. This is the wrong place for us. You see, our home is 1,400 miles across this Atlantic Sea right here. So in essence, we in a prison. We in a prison in essence. Cause that water separate us from our homeland. You see what I'm saying? Even though we can go visit this, that, and the third, it kind of, you so far away from your family and the people that you know, because what we've been taught about our homeland has, flipped everybody to where it's like, nah, I'm not that no more. I'm such and such. I'm everything but that. They'd rather be called, an Englishman or a Frenchman or a Spanishman than to be called what they truly are, an African. You see? But the Africans in the Americas don't got no, certain things that they do is African. You know, you know, even when you talk about brothers pouring out the 40 when somebody passed away, that's African. That's libations. That's African. Praising, giving food, and giving back to the earth, you know, from which they come from which we come from. You know what I mean? Because that's where you going to. I'm not saying your soul gonna stay there, but that's where you going to. So in essence, when the African prayed to the tree, he was praying to his ancestors, man. They were usually bury the ancestors beside a tree. And all of those juices from your body went into the growings of that tree. You see what I'm saying? So if you see, because they would the Africans would pray to trees and stuff, but they'll say the tree of life and all. That's what they talk when they say the tree of life. That's what they talking about. But they try to make it all beautiful now. But that's an African tradition. You see what I'm saying? That they try to pick on the Africans about say, and pick on the black people about saying, we pray to trees. But the Africans in the America been totally stripped of any Africanness. You see what I'm saying? But we have the economical and skill to bring about a new world. You see what I'm saying? And in the total diaspora, we might not have a total economics. The Africans and the Americas ain't got the total economics. But we at least got some economics that we could pull together if we were smart. That we could bring about a new world. Not over here. Cause this is dying. The nations of the Americas is dying. If they were smart, which they try to do, involve black people in what they doing, but they won't do it totally. Just one little token black at a time. So, we must bring about a new world, and we'll expand on this, family. We'll expand on this.